Welcome back to Brands Hatch for the very first round of the Radical SR1 Cup. We've just seen a fantastic race win for Colin Noble Jr. and he's joining me now along with his father, who is also Colin Noble, now senior. But Colin Senior, you won the championship in the UK club class last year.
Yeah, you've raced Radicals for a number of years now, and we're lucky enough. We've won the SR3 several years ago, but we won overall in an SR3, which was very pleasing. And this year we're moving on to do Europe and then concentrate in Britain with Colin with this SR1. So all started off reasonably well. Colin,
for you, what is it that inspired you to get involved in Radicals? Was it Dad?
Yeah, it probably was. I've been around motorsport for a long time now, and then did 5 years of karting, and then Dad won the championship last year, so trying to copy him.
For you, what is it that you're aiming to do in sport? Is it just going to be a hobby for you, or is it something you'd like to become your career?
I think it's just going to be a hobby, but I'd like to get good at it, so yeah.
And of course you're racing up here against an Olympic gold medalist. Is that pretty exciting to have beaten him today?
Yeah, it's quite good. It gets quite a lot of publicity and everything with him in the championship, and yeah, it was going well. I think he finished 5th.
James, it's lovely to see you here. Very first race weekend, but you have raced a few things before.
Yeah, when I was a teenager, I raced go-karts, and then back in 2007, very nice chap let me race his old Aston Martin, which was worth an awful lot of money, here at Brands Hatch in the A1 GP. There was 100,000 people here that day, but now this is the proper sort of doing it again and getting back into it again, which I'm absolutely loving it. It's fantastic, and they're getting so much coverage with all the people that are doing it, and everyone's really nice, so it's been great.
It certainly seems to be a real friendly paddock, and everybody's pulling together and enjoying time racing. But you've been spending some time together as a paddock, haven't you, with your training?
Yeah, we spent quite a few days together now doing our testing. There's I've been lucky that I've had some experience. Some of the guys have never raced cars, done a few track days, and that's it. So it's been nice getting different perspectives on people. We've had some great training from Andy Wallace and Ian Flux, and all the guys are really nice. They're having a great time.
And in terms of being out there on circuit at Brands Hatch, is it nice to be back for you?
I love it. I mean, I'm the world's biggest frustrated racing driver. It's something I've been wanting to do for the last 30 odd years, and I bit the bullet on this SR1 Cup challenge, and it's a great series for people to get involved in, and I suggest anyone next year wants to get involved, come along, because we'll be moving on and there'll be another 22 guys. Hopefully you'll come along and do it, and the cars are fantastic to drive. They're very forgiving. They're a lot of performance, but you can really get to the limits, and we're seeing that people are getting better and better all the time.
What is it that made you choose the Radical over other championships that you could have joined?
I think basically because it's a race car. I mean, there are other championships which are road cars made into race cars. These are out-and-out race cars, and there is a stepladder as well with Radical, and sports cars my passion. So being a sports car, being at the beginning, you can then move your way through, hopefully through the series and up through the ranks through Radical, and then maybe the dream is Le Mans. I'm getting a bit old now, but maybe one day before I'm 50 I might get one drive at Le Mans if I could raise the money, and I was good enough.
Well, down on the grid now for the second race in the SR1 Cup. Alongside us here, Chris Hoy. He had a great start in the first race, jumped up 2 places and then dropped back, finally finishing in, I think, 5th position. So he's hoping to have a better race this time round from another positive start. And then, of course, we move down towards the front of the grid and we can see the cars lined up, anticipating the second start that they will be doing. The question is, being more confident having had a start already, how will that confidence now affect them as they go off here? Hopefully it'll be a clean start. And along here on the front row we have Dan Vaughan and Colin Noble. Colin won the race last time out and he's hoping for another win today. Let's go racing.
Thanks, Gemma. This should be very spectacular if the first race is anything to go by. So, pole position, Dan Vaughan alongside him, Colin Noble Jr. Row 2, Jake Bradshaw and Brian Caldwell. And Row 3, Robert Almond and Sir Chris Hoy, then Elliot Goodman and James Guest. Lower down the field, it's Giles Newby in 11th from Matt Brooks in 12th, John Glendenning and Peter Brooks then on Row 7. Huge pack of cars. Shai Shamai once more completes them as we are just about ready for the start here on the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, the second ever race for the Radical SR1 Cup. And what a start from Chris Hoy, the number 1 car with the blue headlight covers, absolutely rockets away from 6th to 3rd by the time he arrives in towards Paddock Hill Bend. Brilliant get away from him. It was another poor start from pole for Dan Vaughan. He's dropped all the way down to 4th as Hoy now challenges for 2nd position, and he goes to the inside of Jake Bradshaw at Druids. So from 6th to 2nd in just a couple of corners from Chris Hoy's. Around goes Giles Newby at Druids, so he has got plenty of work to do, as Dan Vaughan also having made another poor start, looks to pick us about the order. He has come up now to third place. It's Colin Noble Jr. who leads the way with Chris Hoy in pursuit then. And in third position, the recovering Dan Vaughan. Let's have another look at the start. Number 9 from pole, Vaughan bogs down. Chris Hoy just finds the traction, squeezes through a gap. It wasn't really there to start with and kept closing. He was able to make his way through. Let's look at it from another angle. And despite the very best efforts of Brian Caldwell, he couldn't shut the door in time. And Hoy up to third position before they'd even hit the braking point for the first corner. Fortunately, everybody else cleanly through. But as the race begins to unfold, Colin Noble Jr. is rather checked out. Battle for second place, though, about to get very intense because Dan Vaughan is all over the tail of Chris Hoy and dives to the inside at Paddock Hill Bend, and he should go through there. Hoy tries to tough it out around the outside. He's going to be shuffled down the pack because also squeezing through is Bradshaw, and Bradshaw then goes to the inside of Vaughan. Up Hillwood Hill into Druids, and the 99 car of Jake Bradshaw gains 2 places in one fell swoop. In the same move, though, unfortunately Chris Hoy loses 2, and Dan Vaughan, despite all his efforts, remains exactly where he was, which is third place. Hoy, though, looking to fight back, and for all these drivers, given their comparative lack of race experience, racecraft is just something you get with experience, and these drivers later in the season will know all the tricks of the trade, and that's where we'll start seeing, I think, some really crafty manoeuvres, although we're beginning to see that throughout the pack already. So further down the order, Mark Crader, number 20, leading trainer cars through, with Charles Newby part of that group as he looks to recover from his spin. Also got Shai Shamai in car 2. He's made up several places back of the grid, so he is going very strongly in this second race. You see, like all the field, get acquainted to what the Radical SR1 feels like in race conditions. Meantime, though, a nice battle beginning to emerge for second and third between Dan Vaughan and Jake Bradshaw. They both managed to pull clear of Hoy, who is there in fourth position around Graham Hill Bend, and Vaughan in pursuit of Colin Noble, but Noble, it's the best part of 5 seconds already up the road, and that, given that these cars are essentially identical, it's going to be very, very hard to close down. Hoy then is part of a battle with Robert Almond and Brian Caldwell for fourth position. So here's the replay of how they all sorted themselves out. Vaughan dove to the inside of Chris Hoy, who tried to keep his nerve and the momentum around the outside line. He just ran over the rumble strip. That gave Jake Bradshaw the opportunity to pounce. And now they're into traffic a little bit, and this could always be very, very tricky for experienced drivers, let alone those with a little bit less experience. And Robert Almond is right on the tail of Hoy as they pick their way past Shai Shamai, and this could be Almond, number 23, the driver with the black helmet's opportunity to move up into fourth position here. Hoy hugs the pit wall, and around the outside goes Robert Almond. He takes advantage of the slipstream and then swoops across, covers the inside line, Paddock Hill Bend. The traditional Brands Hatch manoeuvre, very, very brave stuff by the pair of them, but it's the place gained for Almond. He goes fourth. Suspect, though, a podium finish is a little bit too far in distance, particularly if he runs wide like that, because that opens the door once more for Chris Hoy to look to challenge as they plunge down into Graham Hill Bend. Through the left-hander they come, and Hoy in the wheel tracks of Almond as through Surtees for the final time once more comes the race leader, Colin Noble Jr., who has utterly stamped his authority on the opening round of the Radical SR1 Cup. Superb performance from Colin Noble Jr. The checker flag goes out and he takes an emphatic victory, with second place going the way of Dan Vaughan, and completing the podium will be Jake Bradshaw. The pack all swarm through over the line. Let's take a look at the final results, with the victory of Colin Noble Jr., second place for Vaughan, third place for Jake Bradshaw, with Robert Almond in fourth and Sir Chris Hoy completing the top 5. Elliot Goodman rounds out the top 10.
Colin, number 1 hat once again. That's what you call a double win and a fantastic day.
Yeah, really good. Same start again, and just drove it better that race, to be fair. Kept the tyres a bit cooler, and yeah, good lap times throughout the race.
You pulled out a really big gap early on.
Yeah, we got our head down and just didn't slide the car at all early on, and just kept the tyres cool and got through the back markers quickly.
Not quite what we wanted, but it'll do. Got the point, so next round and see if we can go one better.
The start looked a bit difficult. I know Chris Hoy seemed to have a very good start and jumped fair way ahead and take second position, but you fought hard.
Yeah, I got too much revs and had too much wheel spin, didn't get away, but got back to second, and it was a good result. So.
Well done. You can smile and relax. Same podium as last time. This is incredible.
Yeah, deja vu. It was a good race. I was up in second for a bit longer, which was good. Good fun to fight with Dan, and I think Chris Hoy was actually up in the mix for a bit. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, that race, and it's a shame it's not a bit closer with the guys at the front, but they're just so much quicker. There's nothing I can do to keep up, unfortunately.
Chris, you had a fantastic start and you got it up to second in the early part of the race.
Yeah, I couldn't believe my luck. I just got a bit lucky. A few gaps opened up and I took the opportunity, but I just couldn't quite make it stick. You know, the guys were queuing up behind me and I could see them in my rearview mirror. Well, I could see them in one of the mirrors. One of the mirrors went, and so I couldn't see in the left. So I was trying to look from the right-hand side. But brilliant fun. You know, I thought I could hang on to fourth. I had a missed gear change coming up the home straight, just before coming into paddock, and Rob just came past the outside of me. So he drove very well, and it was a great race. I had a lot of fun, and yeah, even picking through the back markers at the end was great fun too.
Well, I'm glad you've enjoyed yourself. You're back for the rest of the series, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Back on Wednesday. Going to Snetterton for a track day on Wednesday, and then the next race is Alton Park in July.
And that's it from us here at Brands Hatch for the inaugural Cup in the Radical SR1, of course. We'll see you next time here on Motor TV.